So, do you guys do the intro? Do I sit here?
Have you ever watched an episode of this podcast?
I've not in its entirety. Well, I watch it when I listen to it when I'm walking to school, and then by the time I'm like about to finish a new one, you guys drop another episode. I'm like, oh my god, it's the Voros twins! I've got to listen to that. I don't
That was
think
like
I've
2
ever.
years ago.
Actually, it wasn't. It was about 6 months ago.
It was not 6 months ago.
Let me actually see how long.
It was a year
was.
ago, I think. Maybe less than a little
Dude,
bit less.
it was
than a year
not
ago.
last February because I literally remember it. I was listening to it in class, and I'm like, this is so funny.
It was.
It was a year ago.
Fuck off! Really?
Yeah, it was February 20th. Actually, almost to the day. It's a year ago.
Oh yeah!
Damn!
Wow.
What the hell?
That was the day after we did that talent show with you.
My god, you're right.
It was the day
oh my
after.
god, that's
I remember
been a year.
I was drinking tequila the entire day that we were doing that talent show.
That's why I remember the Voros twins so much, because we VC'd after my talent show and you were like getting really drunk. You're like, fuck, we need to film with the Voros twins, but I couldn't tell if you guys were joking, and I didn't want to say anything the whole time because I'm like, that's cool, like, but like, what if they're fucking with me and they just want me to say something? So I just like kept my mouth shut. That's why I remember that episode. I'm
trying to remember how we even got in touch with them, to be honest with you. I it was definitely me, but like I don't remember I don't remember. I mean, like, I would say it was through Hamza, but I don't think it was. Hamza did do that thing where he met up with them and then had them like record a greeting for me. But then,
really?
Yeah, I don't actually remember how I got in touch with them. But then then I asked them to come on, and it was one of the more memorable episodes I think we've done.
It was fun because I had no clue who the fuck was talking, like, between the two of them. When I was listening on Spotify, and I was like, I don't know which one's talking right now.
After that podcast, I was able to tell the difference between them. Up until that point, I was a little bit like, I did research before it, so I could be like, okay, which one's Chris, which one's Patrick. Now I can tell. Is that their names? Yeah, Chris and Patrick Voros.
Oh, that's so cute.
When you look at them, they do have their differences, and you can very easily tell who's who.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's so crazy when they're talking about how, like, because they do like they work out together and have the same routine. They're like basically like the exact same weight. I was like, that's so insane. That's like a lab experiment.
They're very fascinating.
That was an awful way to describe it. Yeah.
They're like lab creatures, experiments. Like they're not like human beings. They're just like some like test tube freaks.
They're very cute. Weight. I like them a lot. So they're very adorable. Welcome back to COOLDOG Podcast. Today we have a child on. We're interviewing a child for the first time in the history of the podcast. With me, of course, is also my co-host Hooverr, who has some kind of headset on.
Yeah, I'm coming in for you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Things are escalating right now. I just texted my mom about me doing the podcast, and she just got home, so I'm trying to keep some words to her and make sure that she's going to keep quiet upstairs.
Yeah, you put her in her place, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Woman? Listen.
Hey, we don't do that here.
Oh, well, let's talk about you then. All right, you want to talk about things that we shouldn't be doing? We have the man who shouldn't be doing it literally anything ever, AverageHarry.
Hi. Well, that's an awful introduction. AverageHarry reporting live from South London. Woo!
What's your address?
Actually, that's actually my address. Actually, thank you. That's actually my address.
We gotta do some work. Harry's is gonna like say everything. Can we say your full name?
Yeah, you can say my full name's public.
Harry Tornado Benstead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So your middle name is Tornado. That's let's get started with the first question. It's why is it Tornado?
My dad won a bet about where something was in IKEA. So my brother's older than me, so it was like my brother was born in 2004, I was born in 2005, and it was like okay, man. It was like just before my brother was born. I assume they were like getting stuff ready for like having a child, and they were going to IKEA. My mum, my dad had this big argument about where this certain thing would be in IKEA. My dad turned around and he was like, if it's in this area, I get to choose our children's middle names. And for some reason, my mom was like, fuck yeah, that sounds great. And my dad won the bet, and he's like, oh yeah, I think people like grow into their names. So he called my brother's got the middle name Skyscraper, and I've got the middle name Tornado. But it worked for my brother, because my brother's called Skyscraper, and now he's like 6'4". I'm like, I don't know why I got called Tornado.
Yeah, what does it mean to grow into a tornado?
Yeah,
you're just an agent of chaos, I think. Which honestly, it kind of works.
It means you uprooted everything in their life and caused a lot of chaos.
No, it means I'm radical.
Who's your parents' favorite? You or your brother?
Me, definitely.
Is it actually?
I don't want to. I don't want to answer that. I think that's a crazy question. I think I'm a lot more similar to my dad than my brother is, but because I got like my dad is like where I got all my humor from. I think my dad is like the funniest person I know, and my brother got all of his humor from like Call Me Carson videos and like 2018 like commentary. Obviously, he's grown out of it now that he's like 19. He's 18. Fuck. But I kind of I don't know. I'm not answering this question of who my fucking parents prefer.
It feels like you already did.
I know.
You said that your brother watched Call Me Carson, so I guess you are the favorite. I mean,
my brother when I first started streaming, he was like, "Oh my god, are you gonna join SMP Live?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm like 13 and average 9 viewers. What the hell are you talking about? No, I'm not joining SMP Live."
Is that the highlight of your career so far?
Joining SMP? I didn't join SMP Live.
No, getting invited.
I didn't get invited to SMP
Oh, you
Live.
didn't even get invited? Oh, that was Gronk. It was another 14-year-old that had 9 viewers.
I feel like before we get too carried away, we do have to do the gold star thing, because otherwise people are going to get on our ass for starting a bit that we didn't finish. I have a comment, so you don't need to. Okay.
Let's hear what gold star are you handing out today?
I actually lost it. Hold on. I need to find it.
What the hell's going on with my hair?
Oh yeah, okay. Sasqua. Dude, I always fuck up these names, man. I'm such a white man. Like, holy shit. I'm sorry to all our viewers. Sasqua. I don't know, but they said I forget he's bald sometimes, and it freaks me out a bit. And I just want to give you a gold star for your honesty.
You?
Yeah, me.
You wear hats a lot.
I feel like, yeah, I like hats, but people, here's like the thing. People always assume I wear hats because I'm ashamed of my baldness, but I've always worn hats.
No, you wore hats when you had long hair.
Exactly. I've always worn hats. I noticed this when Stompa got drunk and gave me the speech where it's like, listen, man, I noticed you've been wearing a lot of hats recently, but then you started not wearing them, and I'm glad that you're like finally embracing it. And I'm like, what do you mean embracing it? I've been being bald has been my brand since I like fucking took off on YouTube 5 years ago.
I think you're like one of the only people who can like probably pull off being bald. And
one of the only people.
One of the only people.
No, yeah, he's trying to say like if I went bald, I'd look like a fucking police officer.
No, you would. Like you would look like you would. 100%. Can I give out my gold stars?
Okay.
I just want to give out a gold star to Aksually and Hooverr for being the best, most handsome, most charismatic podcast guests of all time.
Yes, we're hosts.
Hosts.
You're the guest, boy.
All right, let's relax. We're all friends here.
Thank you for the gold star, though. That's very sweet.
You're welcome.
I'm also looking at my camera right now, and my lighting is off, and I look like I'm starved of oxygen. I look a little bit purple. I look like a baby that was born with like an umbilical cord around their neck. It's like,
oh, my brother shitting my mum, like before he was born.
Oh.
What? How? I thought you were gonna say you had the umbilical cord thing.
No, like it was really dangerous. So
how'd they know?
Well, there was like a shit in there. Like I don't know. I assume like there was like health issues, and they were like they scanned it, and they're like, yeah, there's a poop. I think it's about like
there's a poo in here. We gotta get this poo out before.
But I don't know. I don't know like the technicalities of it, because I thought the poo goes through the umbilical cord.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know a lot about women's bodies. But
if any doctors are listening to the COOLDOG podcast for any reason, Can you let me know how pooing in people works?
I wonder if there's anyone actually in like medical school that listens to this. I doubt that there's any doctors because they would have to be pretty old, but I feel like if there's any medical school students, let us know so we can applaud you in the comments for your sacrifice.
And thank you for your service.
I clapped for you every Thursday during lockdown.
I thought for me.
Not for you. I clapped for Estonian people. They're braver than NHS workers.
No, I don't know if they did the clapping here, but I did see that they also did it in New York City. Everyone.
What? They're all fucking private over there. What the hell are they clapping for?
Well, I mean, the nurses are still, nurses. They're not the capitalist hospital owners. They're still busting their asses.
Yeah, that's true. I actually think, hot take, I'm going to start with a hot take. It's harder to be a Twitch streamer than a nurse.
Ooh,
how come?
I mean, honestly, I could see that.
And a firefighter.
Oh, well, not. I don't know about firefighter. I feel like a firefighter
is just a bunch of boys playing with water.
Firefighter is like such like a nothing job.
Yeah.
Like just get a hose or something, low key. Or
back in the day, they used to have the well in the middle of the villages, and the whole village would come together with buckets. Why can't we go back to that?
We need more wells in our life. Nat, Hooverr, do you have a well near you?
Why me? Why don't you assume the guy in Estonia might have a well?
I know, because Axel actually might probably have a well near him. Actually, you got any wells near you?
Not currently, no, but I used to back in the day. Yeah. Used to have a well on my property. Not my property, but the family's property. Yeah.
Did you ever use it if there was a fire?
Well, there was no fires. But I imagine in the event that a fire would have happened, yes, we probably would have. Well, it was a little bit far away. I don't know. It was very horribly placed in like the other side of the yard, so you would have had to like run. And then buckets of water are heavy, man. You don't think it, but
they are. Did you ever do the? Sorry, no, I cut you off. I'll let you continue.
No. It was my bad. I apologize.
Did you ever get like a bucket of like water, a bucket of sand at the beach, and go like, woo, and like spin it around for like centrifugal force because nothing would come out?
I never did that. No.
Hooverr, did you do that?
I think I know what you're talking about. I've done it before with water, but I haven't done it with like sand.
God, this is what I love about humanity. It's the little things. It brings us together.
A man in Kentucky and a man in South London having the same experiences.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Like what they said in After Sun. It's like it's the same sun. We're all under the same sun.
I actually, when they said that line in the movie, that hit me because I said that as a kid too. I remember looking at the moon.
To like your people on Toontown?
No, I actually said it, and this is true. I said it to a girl when we were on a swing set. I was like,
Riz. That's actually
it was. I was like 6 years old. She lived like on the.
I don't know. I imagine you to be like 14 in the story.
No,
that caught me off guard.
I was 6 years old and my riz was immaculate, and it was this girl who she was a couple years older than me. So it was a little bit of a problematic age gap. She was like 8, I was like 6, but.
That's weird as hell.
That's not that bad.
No, I think it was very weird, and like I think she needs to be called out for that.
Mm-hmm. Where's she at now? What's her name? Can we call her out on the podcast?
This is a true story. She is married and she has kids.
Oh,
I looked her up on Facebook like a couple years ago, and she pretty much right out of high school, typical small town thing, got married and then had children.
You should message her and be like, "Remember what I said you on the swing set? I still mean it. I love you." And then see if she drops her husband for you. I think you should do that.
Listen, here's the thing is, right, I don't mean to like put her on blast, but she always had this like kind of smell to her. So I was, it was I don't know if I could go back. I mean, maybe nowadays she doesn't stink that way anymore, but back in the day it was something that was consciously in my mind. But I looked past it. Because in the village, she was the only girl there. All the other girls were like 95 years old, so I didn't really have any options. But yeah, I remember we were sitting on the swing set at like probably like 11 p.m. or something, and I said, "Hey, just remember, whenever we look up at the moon at night, we'll be looking at the same moon," or something like that. And then, yeah, I mean, she was pretty hooked.
That was good. Were you speaking Estonian the whole time, then you switched to English just to say that? Or did you say that line in Estonian?
I mean, I said it in Estonian. I don't think she was able to. I mean, even at 6 years old, I don't think I really spoke English at that point yet.
No,
I was
that's
only
fair.
getting started. Yeah, I only picked that up maybe like 2 years later. I could have said that in English.
That's good. I'm not good with language. French is the only GCSE I failed. It was fucking
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't actually take any exams for my GCSEs because of COVID. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna give you this like the grades we predict you would get in the exams." So like it came around for me to open up the grades, and I open it, and I was like, I was good. Like it was A's, B's, and then I got the equivalent of like an F in French.
Ooh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? My teacher like loves me. There's no way she predicts me this. And I'm leaving the hall, and I said thank you to all my teachers. And this my French teacher runs up to me. She's like this like short like French woman. She like hugs me. I goes, Harry, congratulations. And I'm like, what, miss? You gave me a 3. She's like, it's what you deserve. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, at least she had a smile on her face.
Yeah.
She wanted you back.
The first time I ever got the equivalent of an F in a subject, I remember walking in the classroom and the teacher was sitting on my desk. And she like pointed at the paper and she was like, I want you to look at this. And I looked at it and I saw the F. And keep in mind, this was like 4th or 5th grade. I didn't get Fs until then, man. I was an amazing student, which is why she was so shocked about it. But yeah, it was a very just horrible experience because she kind of like sat there and she had me like look over the paper and she told me, this is no good. Like if you do this again, you won't end up anywhere in life. Basically, that's what they always do in Estonia. If you have one little small mishap, the teacher will tell you that if you ever do this again, you will never do anything with your life.
Damn,
that's real as fuck.
I had one time I was like singled out in front of a classroom because I kept missing Russian, and I hated Russian. And then the Russian teacher singled me out and said, if you keep this up, you might have to go to the bad kids school. And that was looking back at it.
What the fuck are the bad kids schools in Estonia like?
They are horrifying. Like genuinely, I knew a lot of kids that had been to bad kids school prior to it, and they were all psychopaths. Like they were so violent. They would try to like choke out people all the time. And then there was at one point in one of the bad kids school, there was like a riot where the kids took over the school. And then the news pulled up and all the kids were like hanging out the windows and like fucking flunging around bed sheets and shit. Like it was like
a prison break.
Yeah, exactly. It was a prison riot where like the teachers were completely powerless to the point where literally national news showed up and there was like, we got a situation here. A bunch of 6th graders are roaming free. Because that's the thing as well. These weren't like 17-year-olds. These were like 12-year-olds that somehow overpowered the school faculty and took it over.
That's crazy. I don't know if it's like this in like America or Estonia. Over here, and I thought it was just my school until I spoke to everyone else. It's like very normal to just make your language teachers cry. Like I've
had
never
that happen.
No, but like
had that happen.
Like, and I always thought it was like people really mean to language teachers because it's like people, if you don't get it, you don't get it. At least with like English, people tend to be nice to English teachers because they can try to understand. If you don't get French, you kind of don't get it. And they also like I was in like year 8. In like the year of year 8, I had like 5 different French teachers because they all kept like quitting. Someone threw a fucking dictionary at her once, like at her head.
Oh my god!
Like from the back of the classroom, like a fucking like French dictionary. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they would like insult her. The worst mistake you can make. I go to an all boys school. Well, I did. The worst mistake you can make at an all boys school is give any like teenage boys access to anything to about your personal life. This that she had a family photo of her and her husband on her desk, and people. This was just when the cameras came out on iPhone, which had 0.5. And whenever she'd leave the classroom, they'd go up to it, take like a fucked up picture of like her and her husband in 0.5. So it looks like their forehead is massive. And then they'd post everywhere. They would print it out and put it around the classroom. And then she was like crying. And then I remember one time, I think what was the nail in the coffin is when they like got a hold of the photo and we're like dangling it out the window, and we're like, I'm like, Miss, I'm gonna drop it, Miss, I'm gonna drop it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude? She's like, she literally did nothing to us. It's not even like she was like a horrible teacher. She was just like a French teacher. Like that was it.
God damn, dude, you all are evil.
I never took part.
I feel like that poor woman, she probably got paid pretty poorly too.
She would have been paid because she was technically like a substitute teacher.
Oh God, the substitute teachers, I really feel for them. Nobody respected the substitute teachers. Like it was, and in my school, the substitute teachers would always be like the ones straight out of school, like early 20s, never before really like handled a classroom. And it's just all these kids, they immediately smelt it on them. They're like, no experience. They have no power, which made it so bad.
The only nice thing about substitutes, I used to lie. I'd be like, oh, our teacher, like once we finish our work, we can like fucking go on our phone and play Clash of Clans. She's like, really? and everyone was like, yeah. It's like the one, what's the worst substitute teacher story we had? And I served her at my work today, so she's still like alive. She hasn't like killed herself, which is quite nice.
Oh,
that's good. That's good. She's still living.
That's beautiful.
Not killing herself.
We had. This was at the time. There was this little shit of a kid called Zach. There was this kid. I'll say his real name. He was called Zach, and it's just like year 8. And I was like 13, 14, and for some reason he was like so misbehaved. They just let him get away with it. So he used to just stand up in the middle of lessons, like walk out and just like wander around like the fucking like playground and shit. And then he would like come back in our classroom. This was during a cover we had for citizenship, and he came back in the classroom and he stood in the door frame like that while we were all being taught, and he stood in the door frame and just like started moaning, like making like sex noises. And then the teacher got like really angry and like chased him out. And this is like all of the windows into the corridor were like glass. It was basically like a glass wall, and he was like juking her out in the corridor, and we were like all laughing. And it was like, this is so good. But the locks on the English department, this is in the English building, are like one way. Like you can just lock teachers out of classrooms. There was this boy sitting next to the door. This poor boy. And at the time, he barely spoke any English, and like he'd come from like Uzbekistan, and like everyone in the class is like shouting at him because the door's being like propped open by like a air conditioning unit. He's like, move the air conditioning unit, move the air conditioning unit, and he moves it, and we lock this teacher out. When this teacher's like fucking chasing this kid up and down the corridor, she like finally catches him. He like fucks off to like the headmaster's office, and then she's standing outside and it's like, let me in, like banging on it. But no one wants to let her in. No one wants to be the one. But the longer we're like just locked out, we couldn't go anywhere. So like the boy opens the door again, and she runs into the classroom and goes, "You all have an hour detention. Every single one of you." And I was like 14. I made it all the way through school without getting a single detention, by the way. And I was like, I don't want to ruin my streak. And I was like, my like eyes were like starting to well up. And I was like, this isn't funny anymore. This isn't funny. I don't want a detention. And then none of us got a detention. But I was like, it was dreadful the way substitute teachers are like treated.
Yeah, you're saying that like you didn't actively just partake in that.
No, you fucking were like, I'm gonna lose my streak. So then your fucking crocodile tears saved you. You didn't care about a streak.
No one saw me cry. I was sitting there. I was like
they could probably tell.
I'm not feeling too good about all this. Still alone in your little corner.
There was nothing more embarrassing than crying in front of your schoolmates, though. That was every now and then. That is
the worst.
Every now and then when I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade, something would happen and then you'd let out a little tear and it was like, fuck. I can't let the host see me like this. Like, this is bad.
And exactly. That's toxic masculinity.
Really?
It's okay to cry, guys.
What is toxic masculinity?
Is that one of the questions you had planned for me?
Yeah, we have like a feminism and like toxic masculinity quiz for you. We just want to like see like what you know and like what you think.
Harry, what's the patriarchy?
Yeah. Should we like fuck the patriarchy or like stand with it, you know? Like What do you think?
What did AOC have on the dress? Peg the Peg. That wasn't AOC. Who had Peg? Who showed up to like the? What the fuck is it? What's that thing in New York?
New York
Met
Fashion
Gala.
Week.
The Met Gala, wearing
Met Gala?
the bulletproof vest which says like Peg the patriarchy. That's what I'm gonna wear. That's gonna be like my.
I'm actually kind of curious. I do remember this, but I don't remember who it is. Let's see.
Wasn't it Cara Delevingne?
Oh, Cara Delevingne.
Is it Cara? I thought it was Cara.
Cara Delevingne.
It's probably Cara, yeah.
Potato.
British, right? Cara Delevingne. British person.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
that-
British?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh,
Seems
good
like
good for her.
Cara Delevingne. Yeah. Hammersmith, London. You ever been to Hammersmith?
I have. It's the worst tube line, Hammersmith and City. No one takes
Oh.
that. It's really bad.
I fucking hate London,
Oh.
to be honest with you.
Like, what does that hate about London? It's got everything here. It's got the Big Ben. It's got the London Bridge. I'm Alex. It's got Rice Restaurant. Like, it's literally like, what isn't there to love?
The Big Ben has been covered up for like fucking 7 years now. It's
I know. I
just
just wanted to have a list of things with I'm Alex in it. Like
I'm glad that you used Big Ben as the segue. For
I
that.
know. You could have said anything. You could have been like the O2. You could have been anything
the
else. And you're
O2.
like,
The O2 is not like that iconic. It's the O2.
it's the O2. Well, I know it. I don't know.
The London Eye is like the biggest fucking scam of all time.
Have you been on it?
No, I've thought about it, but then every time it's like, well, isn't it something crazy like £40 for a ticket or something?
I don't know. I used to have a Merlin pass, which got me on that.
For free?
Well, yeah. I didn't pay for the Merlin. I was like 12, and I used to go like Chesington Wider Adventures like every other weekend. So we had a Merlin pass.
Yeah, to me, to pay for it seems a little bit ridiculous because like, what are you looking at realistically? You know what I mean?
And you can just go to the top of a building.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Shard. I have a penthouse at the top of the Shard.
Don't believe that.
It's an investment opportunity. It's sitting completely empty and I'm looking to sell it in 10 years.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I live next to KSI.
I actually have like a place near the Yog Towers, if you all know where that is.
Is that
Yeah,
in
that's in Bristol.
Manchester? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
in
in
Bristol.
Yeah, I have like a place out there. You know, it's nice though.
I have like this such like vivid memory of where I was like asking like my dad to like drive me to Bristol when I was like 9 years old. And I was like, dude, I need to meet Honeydew. Like,
Have you been to Bristol?
I haven't. It seems like my kind of vibe though.
It's a cool place. I would say Bristol and Brighton are probably like the two worthwhile places in the United Kingdom.
It's like they're like the very kind of like left leaning. It's like a lot. It's big with the youth.
Yeah, art hose everywhere. Everything's pretty chill.
That's where kind of the big thing where they pulled the statue in the river. That was in Bristol.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about something like that.
And then like Banksy paid for all like the court fees.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was like, how long ago was that?
It was during lockdown.
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta look this shit up.
They pulled down like the statue of this slave trade and pulled it into the river. And then and then it's like this big thing how they went to like court for it. And then Banksy like sold t-shirts to raise money for the court fees, and then none of them got like any sentences.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Big ups
this.
Banksy. I don't know. I almost said Banksy.
Big up Banksy.
Did you see I think my favorite thing Banksy's done is that this like shop on Oxford Street was selling, you know, like that one graffiti of him where it's like throwing the Molotov, but it's like flowers. Like it's like one of his most famous pieces. They were selling like jumpers with that on, and he like posted it on his story and was like, "I didn't give them permission to sell this. Everyone shoplift from here." It's like everyone shoplifts and send me videos. And like the entire store got like mobs within like 2 hours. They had like 10 different security guards.
Holy shit. That's fucking
Damn.
crazy.
I thought
That's
it
a
was so
pretty good
funny.
response to that, to be fair.
Like everyone steal from this place.
Isn't there like that one? Well, actually, this is like a pretty big thing in most big cities, but I know in London there's that one street where it's just candy shops that are actually just money laundering for.
Oh yeah, it's like Oxford Street. It's like everywhere now, but like Oxford Street used to have so many, and they're so fun to go in because they sell. It's really weird. It's really weird actually, because they don't even like hide it. Because they have like all this American candy, and now they sell like Prime. They sell like Prime vapes, which is like
What?
What the
It's
hell?
like my local corner shop started selling Prime vapes, where it's like the Prime flavors, and it's like the Prime font, but it's like with a Y instead of an I, and I'm like, that's like crazy levels of cancer you're getting from that.
It is, and it doesn't even taste good. Prime is fucking shit.
Oh, it's dreadful.
No, it's not good.
It's
so dreadful.
It's very terrible. I'm genuinely convinced that if you're famous enough and like enough people have something to gain from like impressing you and making you happy, you could literally like, you could serve plumbing water. You could put plumbing water in bottles and everybody be like, you know what? This is actually really good. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me.
The store I work at started selling Prime. I work at Argos, but it's inside of a Sainsbury's, and Sainsbury's started selling Prime today. And I've never had so many like little shits come in like asking for Prime, and they're like, "Do you know where the Prime is?" I'm like, "I work at." I'm like, "Mate, I work at Argos. I can get you like a washing machine. I'm not getting you any Prime." And they like they'd be like 12 years old. Then like they bring like their mum along, and they're like, "We need the Prime. Where's the Prime? I know you've got some out the back." I'm like, "What the? Leave me alone." I'm like, "You don't need anything."
That's like how Binley Mega Chippy blew up, and then I watched this one video of a dude reviewing it, and the queue outside was just a bunch of moms with their kids.
Yeah, it's like, "We need to go here. It's a Binley Mega Chippy. We have to go." It's like Wakey Wines as well. You've seen Wakey Wines?
Oh, I have. The guy who like fucking sells Prime for like 100 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, "Abdul, come closer. Abdul, go back." You know, he did 4 years in prison for selling cocaine and sending kids on county lines.
Oh my god. What the
Yeah.
hell?
And then like it was this whole thing came out, and then there's this theory that like he's selling cocaine in like the Prime bottles, because there's this video where he sells like the Prime energy drink for £100, and there's like this woman who looks like she would not buy a Prime energy drink. It's like this like rich white lady, and he's like and he does the video. It's like, "Why'd you come here today?" And she's like, "What do you want the actual reason?" And it's like, "No, say the Prime." And it's like, "Oh, Prime. Abdul, go closer. Abdul, come back." And I was like, "Oh my god, he's selling cocaine out of Wakey Wines." And I'm like, I don't think he is, but he used to.
That is insane.
Oh fucking dear God! I tried Prime when I was in Texas because y'all were on the Prime mailing list.
Yeah, Weston Corey is on the Prime mailing list. So then we just got like so many Prime containers, and like Weston DM'd them like multiple times, was like, "Hey, can you like stop sending us Prime? Like we don't need it anymore." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you off the shipping list." And they just kept sending more and more.
Dude.
And the only good thing that they ever had was the green energy drink. But then I was like, this has 200 milligrams of caffeine and like 0 sugar. Like I think I'm gonna die if I drink like 2 of these. So I was like, I'm not gonna drink this shit anymore.
I won a giveaway from do you guys know Tango, like the drink?
Yeah.
I won a giveaway from Tango. They're sending me a box of their new flavor before it releases. And I was like, that's weird. I barely remember entering a Tango giveaway. And I checked it, and it was like this one where you had to like tag a friend on Instagram. And I didn't even tag a friend. I think going with the time I commented, I think I was like drunk, and I commented steady on. And I got a DM from this like, "You've won, give us your address." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I check their Instagram, and all the other people who won also just happened to have like 20,000 Instagram followers. And I'm like, I did not win your giveaway. You went through the comment section and found the 5 highest followed people, and you just started sending them free shit. I'm like, there's no way this was random.
Wait, maybe I should start doing that.
Dude, you've got to. You have higher chances if you just have a couple followers.
My sister tags me in Instagram giveaways. She tags like my main account on Instagram giveaways.
Have you won any? Have you gotten even close, or what fucking contests are there?
Well, she would be the one to win, and I don't think she has one because I feel like she'd be pretty over the moon about it. She'd probably be texting the whole family, letting everybody know. But as far as I'm aware, there's been no wins yet. But every now and then, I'll check like my Instagram notice and be like, 2 minutes ago, and it's my fucking sister.
Dude, you know what's funny is, do you all know who Lil Tero is from Vine? The "Ooh Kill Him" kid, where he's like, "Ooh Kill Him."
Yeah.
This is like the most random thing ever. Lil Tero was having a giveaway on Instagram, and it was like and comment for like free Lil Tero merch. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I used to like enter contests. I'm like, I think I have a better chance of entering this because like nobody was fucking entering the Lil Tero like merch contest. So then I entered it somehow, and then I remember DMing them like a week later, like, we're gonna announce the winner, and then I DM'd them saying who won the contest, and they just said you won. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, you won. Like, here's a code. And so then I got free Lil Tero merch that said like "Ooh, kill him" on a fucking sweatshirt.
Do you still have it? It was like
I think it's upstairs.
Definitely from Teespring. Like it was like
no, it's like some like random ass like never even seen before merch website where like I had like it was originally gonna be $40. I was like, what the fuck? But then I had the code and so it was free, and then I got it and it was like I was like, okay, this is kind of nice, but it was like way too small on me for some reason. So I was like, oh, this is nice, but I can't wear it anywhere. And then I think I still have it though.
Dude, I think like I don't even know if I should admit this because I was like before I say the story, I'm gonna preface I was like 12 or like 11 when I was like I was like a YouTuber and had like 20 subs and I was like vlogs and everything, and I was like, I'm gonna be really famous, but I won't be famous unless I have a cool like profile picture, like a cool drawn profile picture and banner. So I made like another Twitter account and I made it look like it was a bit real, and then I like searched up the key terms like art raffle and like shit like that, and I just found like a bunch of like art raffles, like art giveaways where you can get like a free drawing of yourself which has like 0 likes, and I would be like the only one to enter them all, and I'd be like, and I'd always win. I'd be like, can you draw me a YouTube profile picture? And it was the worst shit because I'd enter so many. I'd be like, can you draw me a YouTube profile picture? And they're like, yeah, but I only do like 1800 style like oil paintings. I'm like, and they're like, are you sure you want this? And it was dreadful, but I got some lovely art made for me. And no, what was worse is when I put it on Instagram. I put it on my Instagram story. It's like loving the fan art, guys. Like,
I was gonna say, I'm like, I literally thought you were going like fake fan art, and then sure enough, you're fucking posting like, guys, thank you so much for all the love and all the art that you're giving me. It's so cool.
Let's go, guys.
I remember the first fan art I got. It was very jarring because it came out of nowhere, and I just remember sitting there thinking, that's kind of crazy that someone did this to me. In a good way, though. That sounds like it was like I can't believe
this to me.
I can't believe they did this to me.
Why would you do this to me?
I can't. They ruined me.
There was this when the whole dream drama happened with me. There was this awesome fan art someone made like 2 days later, and it was of like me, Max, and I'm pretty sure Bill. It was when I was first really close to Bill, and we were like in like a supermarket, and we were like it was very, very, very well drawn, and we were like in a supermarket, and I was like pushing the trolley, and they were like in the car. It was like cartoon style. I thought it was awesome. Like, this is incredible. And it's like a week after the dream drama, and then someone goes, "Wait a second," and they quote tweet it, and it was the fan art was like word for word like traced of like a dream fan art of like Dream Dogger fan Sapnap, and they're like then they got on to me, they're like why are you retweeting stolen art? And I'm like, I didn't fucking know, I'm sorry. I was like, I just thought it was awesome. And they're like, fuck you.
That's so funny. That's some Mopperbot shit, man. We need to bring the goat back.
Bring the goat.
We need the return of Mopperbot.
I do miss his little art stealing era because that was funny.
It was so funny.
It was a very good bit, and everybody just kind of immediately fell for it and got very riled up.
They fed into it so like easily, like it was so obvious that he was just doing it, and then everyone's like, guys, can we like not interact with this person? Like, he's stealing art. And like every single time, like nobody would learn, and it'll just be like every single time, please don't interact with this guy's stealing art. And then he's like, no, this is actually my art. And it was like, oh my god, I drew it myself, by the way. It's not stolen.
Twitter hasn't been the same since he left.
It really hasn't.
At one point, he teased that he would come back, but we don't know.
We don't know.
Was that a wink?
No.
What do you know that we don't know, Harry?
Has he not told you?
What? Yeah, I was also saying, like, let's just hold the silence real quick for what you just fucking did. This isn't a fucking like FIFA celebration where you go.
That was literally cool. So, if that's what Jay Biz does. Have you not seen Jay Biz on TikTok?
No.
Okay.
These are like all these names that are flying over my head. I feel like an old man sitting here.
He's like this like 15-year-old kid from London, and he posts like the TikTok with like the audio. It's like "Mama, I'm a criminal," and it's him like being like "fuck the feds," and he's like on the back of a bus, and like an ambulance drives past, and he put his middle finger up, and he's like "Mama, I'm a criminal."
This guy's saying "fuck the ambulances." Like what?
Yeah, that's literally like the whole joke. But you old man, I'm surprised I had to explain it to you. God.
You know, in a few years, you'll be feeling the same pains that I feel. All right, it's like when I was in the UK and you were constantly harassing me, DMing me, calling me old for just enjoying the simple pleasures of life. But in a few years, you'll be there yourself.
I hope when I'm as old as you, I look as cool as you, though.
Oh,
thanks. I think your age look really cool
for my age.
Yeah, you're really making him like sound like he's fucking 85 years old. Like, yeah, you're still like dripped out and shit. Like, you look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do. It's the one thing that's keeping me youthful. It's the looks
and your smile.
Oh, thanks a lot. That's very sweet.
You're welcome.
But
can you give me some subs?
No,
we're not live.
All right,
I'm not gonna give you any.
Like offline.
I'm not giving you any money.
I got like 60 subs, man. It's bad.
You should give me those 60 subs.
Yeah, that is true. Redirect them to Hooverr. He's in need.
I need them way more than you.
Dude,
and I'm way cooler.
I'm the cool dog.
Okay, that just proves my point exactly.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been
it's been a great episode.
It's been a memorable episode, I would say.
I think it's been good.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty fascinating. Picking your brain.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, what is this? What's going on?
Yes, picking your brain.
Picking your brain is quite a wonder.
It's Kermit the Frog.
I had a fucking terrible moment happen where a family member recently told me that, have you heard of this Jordan Peterson guy? And I was like, oh fuck.
I was at like Christmas dinner. I don't know where it was. And my family member turned around and was like, I saw these awesome TikToks where like this woman like goes to like feminist rallies and like destroys them. And I was like, what? and then I realized he was talking about like Caitlyn Bennett, where like Caitlyn Bennett like goes to like random college campuses and like spews out like random statistics. I'm like, what do you do? Shut up, man.
Caitlyn Bennett fell off. I haven't seen her in a while.
I haven't heard her in a while either.
Usually she'd be like doing the rounds every 2 months. She would put out some bait and then like all the liberals would run for it and be like, you can't say this. And then it was kind of like the mob robot art stealing shit where it's like people fell for her shit way too easily and that's why she got successful.
And then we were like, yo, she like pooped her pants one time at a party. And everyone was like, fucking send that one photo.
Is that photo actually her?
I don't know if it is. I don't think it actually is.
More than like pooping her pants. Like that's everywhere, man. Like that was like it's spilling out.
I don't think it's her, but I think it's funny that you're just running with it that it's her. Because like, why not?
The last I saw of her, I remember I watched like one of the videos of her like owning like people on like a college campus, but I actually think her editor like fucking hates her because they were just like leaving in clips of her like getting destroyed by like this like random couples. It's like debunking every point, and then like,
I guess they weren't getting enough footage to get over like 8 minutes to get that mid-roll ads, so they needed to leave in the moments where she looked a little bit rough. Because that's the fucking most annoying shit about that is like they just pull up on these unsuspecting college students that are just. Half of them are probably on drugs and they're just trying to fucking go to their dorm and lay on their face and listen to fucking some depressing ass music, and then they get hijacked by some motherfucker with a microphone saying, so you want people to have a good life? Well, what if these statistics that I pulled out of my ass that you couldn't verify right now said differently?
That's like all the right wing of people do, but like Steven Crowder as well, where he like goes to like a college and he has all these statistics ready, and then he expects like a random ass like college student like coming from a lecture to like know everything, and I'm like, shut up, man.
It's actually amazing how easy it is to be like a right wing grifter. It's amazing.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that those people were kind of intelligent in at is that they noticed that there was a gap in the market at the right time, so then they all kind of like pulled up. Steven Crowder is one of the bigger examples of that. Dave Rubin is this guy that like he his whole like persona was, I used to be a liberal, and then they alienated me with their social justice warrior posses. And then all the conservatives were like, yes, this guy's awesome. And then they were like, once they found out that he was gay, he was like, well, now we have proof that we don't hate gay people because this one gay person is on our side.
It's like, have you seen the TERFs have started liking like Ollie White recently? Because Ollie White, like the dude who like transitioned to be like a BTS member, put out a tweet and was like, we need to protect our kids. Like, I've detransitioned. We need to protect our kids from people transitioning. I'm like, bro, you transitioned to become like Korean. And all like the TERFs are like, no, guys, he has a point. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's kind of crazy how desperate these people are for anyone to validate their beliefs, because the whole Ollie White thing is probably the most like predictable development of all time. Because this is what those people do, is they kind of plan out this whole character arc just so they can like sell different things. It's all just a business to sell shit. And then, you know, people take the bait for one reason or another. I guess it's also just algorithmic too. The algorithms feed. Because that's the thing, is like, you know, my family members, a lot of them, they're old as fuck. They don't really, I wouldn't call them very like internet conscious. So they eat up whatever the fucking algorithm gives them. You know, they get like one clip of Andrew Tate being like, yeah, I do fucking the taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. And then they kind of like start going from that route until they slowly get converted by him to like into the misogynistic shit. You know, it's fucking depressing.
I'd hate to see what okay, like I love my dad, but I would actually hate to see what his fucking like TikTok For You page looks like. Because he's like, have you seen this trend where like the dogs do the backflip? Like, it's the biggest thing on TikTok right now. I'm like, what the hell are you what are you doing? What are you doing? There's no way that's the biggest thing on TikTok. I've never he's like, yeah, like the dog backflip trend where the dogs talk and you do the backflips. I'm like, what? Show me this fucking trend. And it's like this like millennial ass like voiceover. It's like, I love doing backflips. And it's like,
that's wholesome though. That's like a wholesome pipeline to go down.
No,
you know
it is.
Like he could be quoting Jordan Peterson one day. It's like, Harry, I think you really should check out this Jordan Peterson guy. I think he says a lot about cleaning a room, and your room's been real messy recently.
I think I don't know about you guys. YouTube started promoting me Jordan Peterson stuff. I watched one of his videos. I had no clue who the guy was. This was like probably like 2 years ago. And there's this video, had a bunch of views. And he made this video about Hitler. Have you seen his Hitler video? And it's like, why Hitler is more evil than you thought he was.
What? More evil? How can he be more evil than like literally everyone thinks he's the most evil person?
It was like, why Hitler is more evil than you think. And I'm like, and he's like, this talk he did at like a uni or some shit. And I was like, okay, sure. And then I was like, Jordan Peterson, why you should clean your room. And I'm like, all right. And then it's like, Jordan Peterson, why trans women aren't women. I'm like, how the fuck? How did we get there? Like, how did we get to this point?
That's literally how I think like he converted a lot of people. Is he at first appealed to a lot of these men that needed help in their lives, because he has that like self-help book that all of them fucking quote all the time. And I've never read his self-help book, but the people that I've talked to that have read it, they've said like there's like a few pieces of solid advice in there, but it's nothing like super crazy. But you can tell
it seems like just like something like your dad would tell you to do 90% of the time. I think because it's like oh like wash your face and like clean your room. I'm like, I think he appeals to people who don't have like a father figure.
Exactly. And then people get this advice from him, and then they develop this trust in his opinions and his views. So when he naturally turns around and says, if women don't want to get harassed in the workplace, they shouldn't wear makeup. They're obviously like, oh yeah, you know what? That's actually a good point. And then he starts talking about trans women, and it all like turns into this just big shit, you know? And a lot of the people that it's just kind of frustrating. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I guess the most effective way to combat it would be to try to get these men into like pipelines that make them see the world in a better way. You know what I mean? All these like lonely, disillusioned men, instead of letting them go down the incel pipelines, like, I guess in some way appeal to them. It's like, yeah, you can be lonely, and it's like, you know, where it's kind of like an epidemic in the world where young people are growing up very isolated. And then we turn that pipeline into trans rights are actually good.
It's actually dope.
And you tell them, in a world full of so much pain, the bravest thing you can do is smile.
So I'm gonna make air fryer wings later. I'm actually really excited about it again. I went to the grocery store earlier and I
might
bought
get
some
that
wings.
tattooed. I think that's a good AverageHarry quote. I don't think I came up with that. I think that came to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, that definitely was from like some fucking like poster that you saw in, like a mental health like counselor's office.
No, what you should get tattooed is my air fryer wings recipe because it's amazing.
You've never even had it before. You just said it's your first time.
No, it's not my first time. It's my second time.
I had
Literally, no. You know what's crazy is that there are people that fucking listen to this podcast and like after like you like just being quiet because you fucking said the most bravest thing you could do is smile, and then you do that shit. It's like they have no clue what just happened.
They still don't know what's going on. I'm joking. I love everyone listening on Spotify. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Shout out Spotify listeners.
Shout out.
I'm a big fan of the air fryer. I don't know how to use an oven. I've never turned an oven on. I've also never used an air fryer. But
what are you talking about then?
My mum makes things in air fryer sometimes, and they're so yummy.
Like what?
Like food.
Well,
okay,
like what fucking food? Obviously, dude. What kind of food?
Like chicken and other types of meat. And parsnips. I love a parsnip.
What is a parsnip?
That's literally like a cartoon character's like favorite fucking vegetable. I love a good parsnip. Well, yeah, what the hell even is a parsnip? I feel like I know what it is, but at the same time, I don't think I ever had like a meal.
I've never had a parsnip, I don't think.
Dude, oh my god, you're actually missing out. When you come, hold on. When you come,
why did you stop right there? Just keep talking.
I don't know. No, because I was about to say when you're coming to the UK next, but I'm not going to say that. So I was going to say when you come to the UK next, I'm going to get you a parsnip and I'm going to give it to you.
Are you going to prepare it or are you just going to give me
I'll prepare it. I'll prepare it for you. It'll be nice and crispy and you can eat it however you'd like.
But you said you don't know how to use an air fryer, so you're going to have your mom cook aksel parsnip?
Yeah, I'll go, Mom, can you cook?
I mean, honestly, if you did that, I'd be very grateful. I would love to try a parsnip.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and my birthday is coming up, so it can be like a birthday present for me.
For the big 30, the big 3-0.
No.
Nope, it's not that.
Wait, actually, I just realized you're 6 years younger than me, right?
Are you 24?
Turning 24. And then
you're
turning
17,
18.
Turning 18, yeah.
So that means you're 6 years away from being me. I'm 6 years away from being 30.
When I'm you, you'll be 30. And I think we'll be best friends.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, that would be definitely interesting if like somehow in 6 years is like, oh yeah, like Aksually's 30 years old still talking to AverageHarry.
Yeah, AverageHarry's replaced Hooverr on the podcast.
If when you turn 30, you're gonna cut me off.
No, I
think
mean
that's the best thing.
I probably before 30, I would say. We're gonna aim for the next year.
What if I become like really, really successful?
I'll probably leech off you a little bit and then cut you loose.
I'd let you. There's a lot of people I just let like suck me dry. Okay.
Dude. What is your problem?
You need to relax.
No, like leech. Like okay. That was. Can you cut that part out? That was
we're not cutting that out.
Okay. You know what I meant.
We've already cut out like 15 minutes of you going on a political tirade where you actually disagreed with what I said about Steven Crowder and
you doxing people in the UK. That was another thing that happened.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that one person full name.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing I got to do on this one, which is not great because I don't like to work.
I'm sorry.
Not huge on the working. Anyways, my favorite vegetable is a cauliflower. Thanks for asking.
Oh, gross!
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?
I don't like cauliflower, mate.
Why not? Do you like broccoli?
I'm big on the broccoli.
What's the problem with cauliflower?
It's not right.
What do you mean it's not right?
Actually, now that I think about it, I had vegan chicken, which is made out of cauliflower.
Yeah,
and that was lovely.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm like, I guarantee you, like, you just probably haven't had it right. Like, if you just have it, like as a replacement for like chicken,
nice.
it's good.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I wouldn't say parsnip's my favorite vegetable.
What's your favorite vegetable?
He's pondering.
No, I think it is parsnip. Actually, now that I've thought about it, I was thinking, what's like the pudding called? Yorkshire pudding? That's not a vegetable, though.
That's not a vegetable in any sense of
That's
the
a
word.
dish.
You would have to really stretch the imagination to make that into a vegetable.
Yeah, no, I'm big on the Yorkshire pudding. Do you know why they're called that?
Why are they called that?
Okay, so what it used to be, I don't know why they're called that, but I know how they used to be made. Sorry. People used to cook their meat over this, like, they would like steam it. They would like steam their meat, and the fat would drip off and go into the boiling water, and where the fat would get boiled, it would like turn into like a Yorkshire pudding.
Fucking average UK meal, dude. Holy shit.
Fucking AverageHarry.
No, but I'd like to try it. I would like to try that. I'm big on fat. Like, I'm big on a meat fat.
I like pork. I like the pork is amazing.
I love pork. And sometimes I get reactions saying pork is disgusting. I said, you've never had my mum's pork belly before. My mum makes some good pork belly in the.
Can you have your mom make me like a whole roast for when you come down to Brighton?
I'll look into it.
Thank you. That would actually be really awesome. Oh my Jesus!
Knock it over your fucking Elgato microphone, dude.
Sorry.
I didn't eat pork for quite a while, and then like a couple of years ago, it was in the UK where I started eating it because I started going to Sunday roasts at pubs.
I was never invited.
Well,
I was invited, and then it never happened, and we got.
You were invited?
Yeah, and then we just got like a Mexican with like George Mimulus.
Oh yeah, you'll never forget about that. That was
did I tell you how I met him again?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and then he remembered you.
He remembered me,
and he said, "You're fucking annoying."
He didn't. He said, "All right, mate."
He does say that. That you know what? Your
that was pretty good
verified.
Impression. That was pretty good impression.
He does say that every time I see George. He comes up and he's like, "You're all right, mate," and that's not even a joke because he's British. He's so furiously British that it's like his automated response to seeing a new person. But yeah, I like Sunday roasts. I feel like the British cuisine, I'm a defender of it for the most part.
Thank you. I defend it sometimes too.
There's some things that are inexcusable.
I fucking hate shepherd's pie. You'll never see me touch a shepherd's pie.
Let me see what the shepherd's pie is.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
Is that the fucking sausages in the?
No, that's toad in the hole.
Toad in the hole looks disgusting. I've never had it, but it just looks freakish.
That's just like You know what my issue is? I don't like gravy.
What? You don't like gravy?
No, I like gravy.
I was gonna say potato is my favorite vegetable.
Potato, it does go hard. Potato is very versatile.
Are we counting potato as a vegetable?
I mean, tomato's a fucking
that's
fruit.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but it's like a nice one.
You could have picked it too. It's not like it's like exclusive. Yeah, okay. You took parsnip.
I pick diced potato.
Diced? Do you like it diced?
I like it diced, and I like it with a lot of garlic butter.
Oh, that's good. That's a good ass combo. I fuck with potatoes just because I mean the Irish will tell you can do a lot with them.
You can.
Yeah,
they can save a generation.
Let's get manly. What's everyone's favorite type of steak?
Sirloin.
Sirloin.
Okay, good podcast episode, everybody. See you later.
What does that even fucking mean?
Like Sir Harry. Like I'm Sir Harry. Sirloin.
Yeah, but what's loin?
No, like as if that's my name. Like I'm Sirloin.
Oh.
Like okay, it would be like he went. Imagine he said surprise. I went surprise. Sir Brenda.
I like. I would probably have to go with the sirloin too. What temperature are we getting at though, boys?
Medium rare. I was gonna say medium rare.
Medium rare. is I think the way to get it. One time I had a rare steak, and that I'm gonna be honest with you, that shit was disgusting.
No, it's a little vile. I don't like it when like it's like bleeding on me.
I had a rare steak. I get a rare steak if it's like an expense. I had Chateaubriand once. I think I had that rare.
Ooh, what the fuck is that?
Fuck knows, but it was a nice steak. It was. We stayed at like this. We went to like Turkey, and it was like this quite nice resort, and they had this restaurant where you could only visit once. And it was like bougie, like Mediterranean food. And you're like, you can get a Chateaubriand. And my dad was like, oh my God, they've got a Chateaubriand. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that. And I was like,
Chateaubriand.
Yeah.
Oh. I had Wagyu once. That was...
Is that good?
It melts, doesn't it?
I mean, like... I don't know. It wasn't in my like top 15 steaks I've ever had. Like I've had cheap steaks that are better than that. I don't really get the hype. Personally.
I think it's all about the vibe. I think it's all about the vibe of the restaurant. Personally, I don't care how good the food is. It's like Nando's. You had Nando's before?
Oh yeah, I've had Nando's plenty of times.
It's not that good, but what is good is the experience of going out and grabbing a Nando's with your friends.
I think Nando's quality is highly dependent on the location. I think that's the...
Which Nando's did you go to?
I mean, I've gone to them all over. I've gone to ones in London. I've gone to... There's
been to Nando's Valley Park.
Probably not, man. No, why would I be in Croydon, man?
Dude, like, it's got like an elite lineup of shit in Valley Park. You've got like a bowling alley, a dessert place which stays open till 4 a.m.
Oh, that's good.
A cinema and like a Nando's. All it needs, if it had it also has a McDonald's over the road. If there was like a nightclub or something, that would be like a prime location. But there's nothing to stay up past like 3. Why the fuck would you do that past 3 a.m.? It's like everything is shut.
I went to this. I was like some kind of dessert place. It might have been it was a bagel place on Brick Lane, and I went there at like 3 a.m. and it was scary walking there. I'm not gonna lie. There was a point where I was like, maybe I won't make it to the bagel place.
In Shoreditch, you were scared walking through Shoreditch?
Yeah, because a bunch of people kept coming up to me and asking me for cocaine, and I didn't have it on me. In that
on
moment.
you?
You had it back at the hotel.
Yeah, I had it back at my house, my penthouse, and in the Shard.
I think the most humbling thing that's ever happened to me is one time I went down to Brighton to see one of James's gigs, but I like missed the last train, or like the train stopped running early, so I had to crash round Bill's place and travel back like first thing in the morning. So I got back really, really early, but I looked like bummy as fuck, right? Like I smelt bad, and I was standing outside of East Croydon station waiting for like my bus, and this homeless guy was like, "You're in my spot," and he thought I was also like a homeless guy. And I was like taking his spot, and I was like begging as well. And I was like, "No, man, I'm waiting for my Uber." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. Do you have any money on you?" And I'm like, dude, if I had money on you,